Available now. Link below.
In a nation gripped by an unrelenting border crisis, one man has emerged as a fearless warrior for truth and accountability. Jim Jordan, the indomitable chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, launches a blistering salvo of subpoenas at the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, demanding the release of crucial ICE records. As the very fabric of our republic hangs in the balance, Jordan's unwavering pursuit of transparency is a clarion call to all who value the rule of law and the sanctity of our borders. With each passing day, the tide of illegal immigrants swells, threatening to engulf our communities and drain our resources. But amidst the chaos, a glimmer of hope arises, the memory of President Trump's unwavering commitment to border security. As Jordan's subpoenas rain down upon the halls of power, the American people are left to wonder, will the truth finally be revealed, or will it be lost amidst a swirling tempest of political corruption? The answer may very well determine the fate of our beloved nation. And just like our borders face a relentless onslaught of illegal immigrants, your wallet faces a ceaseless assault from skyrocketing energy bills. Power companies drowning in a staggering $13 million of uncollected debts pass the burden on to you, the hardworking American. But just as Jim Jordan fearlessly confronts the powers that be, you too can fight against the greedy utility giants. Introducing this compact device, what does it do? It optimizes your home's energy use, slashing your power bills, and puts the money back where it belongs, in your pocket. Experience life-changing savings for yourself at an unbeatable 65% off by visiting don'twastepower.com. That's don'twastepower.com. Just like Jordan takes a stand against the forces that try to seek to drain you dry. Now, in a stunning development, the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan has once again subpoenaed the Homeland Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, ratcheting up the pressure in his relentless pursuit of truth and accountability. And this time, Jordan is demanding the release of records pertaining to immigration and customs enforcement, a move that underscores the gravity of the situation at our southern border. In a powerful Fox News appearance, he exposed the stark reality of the border crisis, blaming the Biden administration's deliberate actions for exacerbating the problem. He called for a timeout on asylum seekers and migrants entering the country, insisting that no American tax dollars be used to process or release new migrants or dismantle Texas taxpayer-funded barriers. Watch.
Three things he did: intentionally, deliberately, willful, right from the get-go. He said, no more remain in Mexico while we evaluate your asylum claim, no more building the wall, and when you get here, you're going to be released. That incentivized the entire world to come here. That's why we've had people from over 180 different countries come into our country, and 300 and some on the terrorist watch list, for goodness sake. So God bless Chairman Green and his committee for bringing forward these two articles of impeachment. One, failure to comply with the law. Two, breach of public trust. And that breach of public trust is important because Mr. Mayorkas has said all kinds of things that are not accurate to the American people, and just as importantly to the United States Congress, who's supposed to represent the American people, and that's what they're holding him accountable for. God bless him for doing it. And the ultimate responsibility does reside with the President of the United States. And frankly, there's an impeachment inquiry that we have relative to the president on a number of other issues. But Mayorkas is the one who's carried out this policy. Mayorkas is the one who hasn't been square with the American people when he's testified in front of the United States Congress. And that's part of what Chairman Green and his committee have as their articles of impeachment. So that's why there's a focus there. Sean, this is just one part of what needs to be done. The second thing is we as Congress need to use the power of the purse. We had one of Mr. Paxton's assistants in front of our committee in Judiciary today, and I asked him a simple question. Should we call a timeout? No more asylum seekers, no more migrants get to come into the country. He agreed with me 100%. We're on pace to get to 12 million in the Biden presidency. 12 million, that's equivalent to the entire population of Ohio. We're the 7th largest state, for goodness sake. So let's say timeout. No more money can be used. No American tax dollars can be used to process or release into the country any new migrants. And how about this one? No money can be used by the federal law enforcement to go down there and dismantle the barriers that Texas taxpayers have put up. We shouldn't use American tax dollars for that. So those simple sentences should be put on the spending bill.
Now, the latest subpoena marks at least the third time Jordan has taken aim at Mayorkas in recent months, following a December subpoena regarding documents on violent illegal immigrants and a February subpoena over border security issues in Texas. Jordan's tenacity knows no bounds as he sought information on the illegal immigrant charged with the heartbreaking murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. Now, you can see here the subpoena Jim Jordan issued to DHS demanding the release of critical ICE records. This document here serves as a testament to Jordan's unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth and holding those in power accountable for the crisis at our southern border. In his subpoena cover letter to Mayorkas, Jordan pulls no punches, stating, as part of its oversight efforts, we conducted transcribed interviews with several Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officials, and during these transcribed interviews, the ICE witnesses were unable to answer certain questions about data, documents, and communications related to the Biden administration's immigration policies. He goes on to state that on November 2nd, 2023, the committee requested that the department provide the information that ICE witnesses could not provide during their transcribed interviews. And to date, the Department of Homeland Security has failed to fully comply with our requests. And Jordan reveals that despite repeated attempts by committee staff to inquire about the status of the requested information, DHS has only provided a partial answer and links to public information that fall short of the panel's demands. This stonewalling by DHS is unacceptable and only fuels suspicions of a cover-up at the highest levels of government. And the chairman minces no words when he declares, although we appreciate that DHS has provided some limited data, your failure to produce all the requested documents and information prevents the committee from fulfilling its constitutional oversight obligations. Now, Jordan's subpoena is not merely a political ploy, it's a sincere effort to obtain the information necessary to address the border crisis effectively. He emphasizes that his committee has jurisdiction over matters concerning federal immigration law and suggests that the sought-after information could influence legislative reforms such as reforming alternatives to detention, increasing penalties on aliens who abscond from ICE, and enhancing ICE's tracking, detention, and communication standards for aliens on the terrorist watch list. Now, the Daily Wire reached out to DHS for comment on the newest subpoena, but as of yet, no response received. The silence from DHS is deafening and only serves to underscore the urgency of the situation. So as the border crisis continues to spiral out of control, even FBI Director Christopher Wray, he's issued a chilling warning about the threats posed by the unchecked influx of illegal immigrants. Watch.
America could be headed for another 9/11. And it's all thanks to Joe Biden's open border madness. FBI Director Christopher Wray warning Congress of the emerging threat of a smuggling network with ties to ISIS and how it only takes a few unvetted border crossers to launch a deadly terror attack.
This is a huge, gaping vulnerability in our national security that we don't have answers for. I'm reminded that there were 26 co-conspirators in the 9/11 attacks against the United States. Do you share that concern?
I do.
Sometimes people say, "Well, this is just a fantastic theory. It's no basis in reality." Do you consider that to be a frivolous consideration?
I do not. There are a whole host of threats that emanate from the border. Numbers don't tell the whole story. It only takes a few people who can be responsible for a whole lot of harm.
But in the face of a terror threat, our president refuses to take any action. Instead, he continues to lie to Americans on how only Congress can fix it.
Mr. President, when is an border executive action coming? An executive action on the border.
Counting on the border action happened by itself, the passing it.
All right, Jesse, I'll go to you first. I mean, our government, Christopher Wray in particular, is very concerned about a smuggling network with ties to ISIS coming through the border, and it only takes a few to create another 9/11. So why won't Joe Biden take any executive action?
I honestly don't know, Judge. The director of the FBI and CIA are pleading with the president to do something to secure the border. They're begging him to secure the border. And he's just sitting there, let it happen on its own. He knows it's not coming from Congress, and he knows he has the executive power to make it happen. And it's not just these terror networks that are coming through. All of these people are being run through the cartel system, and 100,000 Americans are dying every year from fentanyl. So how much death is Joe Biden willing to tolerate? Apparently, Joe Biden is willing to tolerate American death in order to posture that he's compassionate, not Trump. I don't know. I wish I was in his head.
Just, what did you say?
The video clip you just saw shows FBI Director Christopher Wray testifying before Congress, warning of the dire consequences of failing to secure our southern border. In his words, serve as a reminder that the border crisis is not merely a political issue, but one of national security. In February, House Republicans took the extraordinary step of voting to impeach Mayorkas over his handling of the border crisis. Yet a month later, a Senate trial has yet to materialize, leaving the American people wondering if justice will ever be served. As the nation watches this drama unfold, one thing remains clear, that Jim Jordan is a true patriot, fighting tooth and nail to protect the American people and preserve the integrity of our borders. His unwavering commitment to the truth and his tireless pursuit of justice are an inspiration for all of us. So in the face of an obstructionist DHS and a complicit Biden administration, his subpoenas serve as a beacon of hope, a signal that there are still those in Washington who are willing to stand up for what is right, no matter the cost. As the border crisis rages on, it's men like Jim Jordan who will lead the charge in securing our borders and safeguarding our nation's future. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. Jim Jordan's subpoena to Alejandro Mayorkas isn't just a procedural step. It's a monumental stride towards reclaiming the integrity of our border security and, with it, the safety of the American people. The story is emblematic of a larger battle for accountability and effective leadership, strikes at the core of our republic's values. It's a reminder that vigilance and action are the price of liberty. As we stand at this crossroads, the choice is clear. We either demand transparency and robust policies that secure our borders or face the consequences of inaction. This isn't merely a political saga. It's a rallying cry for all who value the sovereignty and safety of our nation. So stand with those fighting on the front lines for the truth and security that every American deserves. And this is why it matters, because a nation that fails to protect its borders compromises its very future.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.